Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, always double salute. Now, today's video, we're actually going to be talking about how to get $50,000 in business credit funding for an LLC. Now, again, a lot of you guys know I'm not a big proponent of LLCs, but unfortunately the majority of most business owners are LLCs, okay? But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to break down some things that if you own a business and it's an LLC, here's some very important things that you really need to know in order to get qualified for business funding, as well as finding the right company that'll work with you even when you have bad credit, okay? Now, understand this. Choosing the right financial institution, the right bank. And the reason that I'm telling you guys this is because if you're with the right financial institution, you shouldn't have a problem with getting access to funding, all right? But there are certain things you need to know about different banks, all right? So let's look at these banks here, and I explain what these abbreviations mean, and so you can have a clear understanding. First, you have American Express. Now, American Express reports to Small Business Financial Exchange, all right? They do not report to Dun and Bradstreet. However, Small Business Financial Exchange shares that information with Dun and Bradstreet, all right? And the reason this is important is because you will find out that Dun and Bradstreet is not as important when it comes to business funding. They're not as important as one would think, because a lot of people hear their name because of the marketing and everything, but in reality, Dun and Bradstreet takes a backseat to the other credit bureaus, okay? So I don't care if you have a 100 paydex score. That does not guarantee you funding. However, if you have a good relationship with a financial institution, you're almost guaranteed to get access to funding even if you have challenging credit because of the relationship. Now let's continue breaking this down so that you really understand it and it'll be a benefit to you. Now you have Chase Bank. Chase Bank reports to Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun and Bradstreet, Equifax. Now you have Capital One. Capital One reports to Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange. Now, here's something about Capital One that a lot of small business owners are not aware of. See, Capital One, they do have a small business unsecured card. And for that unsecured card, you can have at least a 580 credit score to get qualified for that card. Here's another thing that sometimes that Capital One will overlook. Say that you had a personal credit card with them and that account went bad. That may not disqualify you from getting a business credit card with them. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So if you have had a bad account with Capital One and you got a LLC business now, then and you have at least a 580 credit score, that may be an option for you to get qualified for their unsecured business credit card. Okay, now let's talk about Citibank. Citibank, you have Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun and Bradstreet, and Equifax. Now, I have talked in the past on how to leverage Citibank cards like Home Depot, where you can buy gift cards and stuff to help bootstrap your business as well. All right, and so Home Depot is a Citibank partner. All right, so that's just something for you guys to know in terms of if you have an LLC and you have a LLC and you have a Home Depot card, you can liquidate that Home Depot card to buy Visa gift cards and stuff, and liquidate those Visa gift cards to help bootstrap your business. All right. Then you have Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Both of these companies report to Small Business Financial Exchange. Okay, but Dun and Bradstreet, again, they get this information from Small Business Financial Exchange. That's how you get a Dun and Bradstreet file with using Bank of America and Wells Fargo. Because when you apply for a credit card with Bank of America business credit card, they're going to pull your FICO 8 Experian. Okay, Wells Fargo uses FICO 9. Okay, so just some data points that you need to know when you're trying to apply for like business credit cards. All right, then you have U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank uses Dun and Bradstreet, and they use Small Business Financial Exchange. The reason that I like U.S. Bank, because they operate more or less like a credit union, because they actually give you a lot of money. Okay, if you have good standing accounts and you're utilizing the money and stuff, they'll just start doing automatic increases based on your business credit. They're not focused on your personal credit. Once you have a relationship with them and you have business credit cards, the more you use those credit cards and pay them off every 6 months, they look at your business credit profile and they'll determine if they should give you a credit line increase, and most likely they will. All right, now you have PNC and you have SunTrust, which is Truist Bank now. Now with PNC, they merged with BBVA. All right, and BBVA, they do have a secured business credit card as well as Wells Fargo. Now with their secured card is the BBVA is the Compass Business Secured Card. Now the reason that I'm talking about this, because PNC reports all business activity to the Small Business Financial Exchange. Now that they have partnered with BBVA, that secured business credit card more likely with the data points will start reporting to Small Business Financial Exchange to help build up the business credit. Okay, now let's look at some other things. Like you guys know that I'm not a big cheerleader of net 30s. However, if you learn how to leverage net 30s, then it can be to your benefit. Now I know there's people out there that's been building business credit and stuff, and they haven't even gotten their first business credit card, so they're using a tier-based system, right? So here's the thing about it. With the tier-based system, you go from one tier to the next tier up to 4 tiers, right? But when you get to that second tier, most people are not aware that, like, even if you're trying to get a Staples card, if you don't have the right data points there, they'll do a hard pull on your credit. So that's one of the things that a lot of these business credit companies are not telling you, that if you do not have the right data points, I'm not saying that enough net 30s, but there's other data points that you should have in your business credit file in order for them to actually give you a card just on the back of your company's business credit file instead of using your personal credit. Okay, so if you need consultation about building business credit with your LLC or your corporation or something like that, click the link in the description and schedule a consultation with 3-Way Funding or HoustonMcMiller.net. Okay, now let's talk about these here particular net 30s that I always show. So you have Shirtsy. Now Shirtsy reports to Equifax, Credit Safe, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Sonia, National Association of Credit Management. But you have to be in business at least 90 days and no derogatories on your business credit file. Let me help you all understand something. You see, this Small Business Financial Exchange keeps popping up. The reason is they're more important than Dun and Bradstreet. Whenever you try to go get a SBA loan, they're going to more likely check your Experian file, and they're going to check your Small Business Financial Exchange file. All right, so if you have at least a 620 and you have some type of trade lines on your Small Business Financial Exchange file, then you have a higher chance of being approved for an SBA loan. Okay, so that's what most people miss out on, and they're like, well, how come SBA didn't get me approved? Well, now you actually have some key data points to understand why you may not have been approved. Okay, And also depends on your 4506T, meaning that when they pull your taxes, what type of revenue. If you're showing no net profit in the company, that also can help hurt you as well. All right. So just keep in mind that small business financial exchange, having at least a 620 credit score, and showing net profits in the company, those are the things that would help you get qualified for an SBA loan. All right. So moving on, you have Summa Office Supplies. So they report to Experian and Equifax. Now here's something that you guys need to understand. A lot of these companies, they're no longer doing the one and done, meaning that you're going to buy from them one time, they're going to report, and then now they don't have no more relationship. Because there's a lot of people that are doing the one and done, and it's not working for them anymore. So companies aren't reporting. So you're wondering why, okay, how come this isn't showing up on my DUNS file, or how come this isn't showing up in my credit file? The reason is because they don't do the one and done anymore. All right, you have to buy from them multiple times. Also, some of these companies, they may have annual fees that you have to pay as well. So you just have to really understand what it is that they're doing in order to help you build up your business credit. Now back to the Summa Office Supplies. Again, they report to Experian and Equifax, but they will give you a credit reference letter to send to the other creditors. Okay, so that's cool. Now you have Quill. Quill reports to Experian, Dun & Bradstreet. Now, the thing about Quill, again, is they have a mechanism in them that can actually help you bootstrap your business. If anybody in the can put it in the comments what they think they know about Quill that can help you with your business, let me put it in the comments so people will know, but I will not say it on record. You have to schedule a consultation for me to actually share that with you. Okay, now here's the thing about it. I don't have Granger, Seaton, and Uline, right? The reason is because they don't have the same mechanism as Quill in order to help you bootstrap your business. That's the reason they're not here. Okay, now you have Wise Business Plan. Now some of you guys be like, well, I don't need a business plan. Well, Wise Business Plan, they not only offer business plans, but adding to that, they also offer other business credit products. Okay, and they report to Equifax, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet. Then you have NAV. Now, I would always tell people you need NAV. And the reason I tell you you need NAV, because with NAV, you not only do they report to Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet, but you have to get their business boost or their business loan builder. Okay, but they also will give you access to your Experian credit file as well. Okay, now here's some companies that don't do a hard pull that you may can go to if you have an LLC that's generating revenue but your credit is bad. Here's some companies that you possibly can reach out to. You have SnapCap business loans. So FICO credit score of 500. When you make payments to them, they have a couple payment options. You can do it daily or you can do it weekly. Okay, so you have to be in business at least 1 year, and your monthly revenue has to be at least $8,000 a month. Okay, and they offer both secured and unsecured loans. Then you have PayPal business loans. Now, one of the things that I always tell you guys about PayPal, all right, granted that they don't do they don't look at the credit score, okay, but like if you're driving for like doing a side hustle like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, or something like that, then I always tell you, if you're paying out daily, have that set up a business account with PayPal, have that money paid out to PayPal, and then transfer it over to your business bank account. So now you're able to leverage PayPal for a loan and then use those same numbers and go to another lending institute to get some funding as well. Okay, so that's why I'm always trying to teach you guys this. Don't just look at it as a one and done situation. Always look at it as, how else can I get more capital to be able to help grow my business? All right, especially you guys that's operating as LLCs. All right, now their loans go from a thousand up to 200,000. No credit check. The minimum annual sales for the business line of credit is 15. You have to make at least 15,000. Business loans is 20,000. Okay, so they don't have any annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, but you have to have an account that's been active for at least 3 months. All right. Now you have Seek Business Capital. Now say that you just starting your business, just starting your LLC, and you have great credit. So with this company, they offer anywhere from 10,000 up to 150,000. So you don't have to have no time in business, no business revenue. The minimum credit score is a 680, but they operate in all 50 states. Okay, so if you have an LLC, you just started, and you have good credit, then Seek Business Capital may be that one to help you. Now you have Stripe Capital Business Loan. Now Stripe, for those of you that are like online retail sellers and stuff like that, this is something that definitely may be a benefit to you, especially if you're operating as an LLC. Now the criteria is understanding is based in the US. Your payments have to be processed through Stripe for at least a year or more. The revenue, your annual revenue, has to be at least $10,000, and you have to be in good standing with Stripe Capital. Again, these companies I'm sharing with you, these companies are doing a soft pull because they're really focused on the functionality of the business. They're not worried about your personal credit, okay? Now, you have BHG Bankers Health Group, okay? Now, with them, again, they said that you have to have a good credit score. But with this here company, I'm going to tell you something. It's not always about the credit score. If they see that the revenue in the business is good and you have good financial statements or bank statements, they will use those documents and overlook the credit score in order to help you qualify, okay? The only thing about it, you can't have any bankruptcies in the past year. All right, so no hard annual revenue or time in business. All right, so they're looking at, okay, if you have at least a 660 credit score, you may be able to get a loan with us even if you don't have strong revenue in the business also. So now you have two ways to deal with them. If you have good credit but you haven't been in business that long, or if you may have challenging credit but you have a strong business bank statements. So now you have two options. Their loans go anywhere from 20,000 up to 250,000. Now, also, let me back. So with BHG, their thing is, if you qualify for the business loan, you may also qualify for the credit card as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind in terms of if you're trying to get funding from BHG with your LLC. Now, Lending Club, again, with them, is not focused on the credit score. They're mainly focused on the business. 12 months in business, at least 50,000 in annual sales. So you're looking at what, about $3,700 a month or something like that. No bankruptcies or tax liens. 20% ownership in the business. Now, here's something. If you're an LLC owner and you have a partner in the LLC, this is one of those companies that you actually can have them to apply for business loans for you if your credit has challenges on it, okay? Now, you have Fundbox. Fundbox, their loans go from 1,000 to 150,000. The average credit score is a 600, but you only have to have been in business at least 6 months, and the monthly revenue is about 8,500. But if you have like pending invoices and stuff, you can leverage those pending invoices. Also, PayPal, excuse me, not PayPal, Facebook. Facebook, they have started buying invoices from minority-owned businesses as well. So it's not about the credit. If you have outstanding invoices, you may want to check out what Facebook is doing too to help minority-owned businesses that own. And it doesn't matter in terms of like if you're an LLC or not, but the main thing, if you actually are in business and you have outstanding invoices with Facebook. So you may want to check that out as well. Now, you have Funded. Now, Funded, their loans go from $5,000 up to $20 million. Okay. Now, the time in business, 6 months. Credit score you don't have to have, but the monthly revenue is about $8,000, and they do a soft pull. Now, again, let me help you understand. Because they're not really focused on the credit score, and they're saying an $8,000 monthly average revenue, that doesn't mean that you will be disqualified if you're only making like $5,000 a month. Okay, so that's the thing I want you all to understand. If you're making it, if you know that you're making good revenue in the business and you have bad credit and stuff like that, again, the revenue in your LLC will stand for itself to help you be able to get qualified for funding without the hard pull or no credit check. Okay. Now, if you have an e-commerce business, I forgot to remove this, Shopify. Now, Shopify, they have e-commerce loans that go from 200 up to 2 million, but you have to be a Shopify seller, and it's invite only. But the good thing about Shopify, because they partnered up with a Walmart, you're able to sell on that platform too. Also, if you're selling on Shopify and you have the numbers to prove it, then again, these other lenders, if Shopify won't give you a loan, use those numbers and go to these other lenders to get qualified for funding if you have challenging credit. Okay. Now, they with the Shopify loan, you have to repay it on the daily sales, and it's no hard pull. Now, here's Capital One Tap. Again, another company that doesn't put an emphasis on the personal credit. So you can be a new business that's been in business for less than a year, but long as your annual revenue is about 30,000, then you can qualify. So if you're an LLC and you know that you're bringing in at least $2,500 a month, or excuse me, about $2,800 a month, something like that, between $2,500 to $2,800 a month, and you've been doing it over the past year, then Capital One Tap definitely will be able to help you in terms of funding and stuff. The only thing about it, you can't be a sole proprietor. So if you're LLC, S Corp, INC, Triple LP, those things you can actually leverage those with Capital One Tap. Okay, so they're going to look at the bank statements and providing who you are. That's how they help you qualify. So in terms of like a soft pull on the credit, they're going to pull FICO 9. But again, if you know that you have strong revenue but bad credit, they're not going to pass you over because they're using other data points to help you qualify. All right. Now, if you guys are having questions about setting up your corporation or trying to get funding for your LLC and you just don't know if you're doing it right and you just need some guidance, click the link below in the description, set up a consultation with 3-Way Funding, or go to HoustonMcMiller.net. Thank you.